This is the World Organic News for the week ending 17th of September 2018. John Moore reporting. Decarbonise the air, recarbonise the soil. A quick note to let you know I'm co-hosting a new podcast. It came out on the 15th of this month and will be out on the 15th of each month after that. It's called Permaculture Plus. There's a link in these show notes to the website Permaculture Plus. I urge you to have a listen and let me know what you think. Thanks very much. This week, I'm a week into my very first woofing experience. As such, we are settling in, and this will be a somewhat shorter episode, and the sound quality may be a bit iffy until I can create a better recording space. Thanks for your patience. We are located in the Lawn Valley, 2 clicks from the township of Killorglin in County Kerry. So far, I've prepared a trench around a polytunnel frame, winter prepped a garden bed, and planted some daffodil bulbs. The farm is a working dairy, not stocked to capacity, so there will be sufficient silage for the coming winter. There are many in the district facing a feed crunch, as the dry summer after the extended late finishing winter has left many in a shortfall of stored feed. This winter will not be fun for these people. As in drought-stricken Eastern Australia, there have been calls for increased supermarket milk prices and as a consequence a rise in wholesale milk prices. I'm not sure it's going to happen in either location, but time will tell. Now to our post for this week from Berkeley News. Fertiliser destroys plant microbiome's ability to protect against disease. Quote, tomatoes with microbes from healthy tomatoes protected them from disease-carrying bacteria. But that fertilising the tomatoes beforehand negated the protection, leading to an increase in the population of pathogenic microbes on the plant's leaves. End quote. So the test wasn't based upon 2 populations of plants, one fertilised and one not, and outcomes in the form of production measured. The spraying of healthy microbes on plants and then challenge them with fertiliser may not be a reflection of what occurs in the field, but there are some useful points we can draw from this experiment. If we are to fertilise, at least in the case of tomatoes, we should avoid the leaves. Direct injection into the soil would be suggested, but even that from the post seems unlikely to be of any use. Now, as a listener to this podcast, you would be aware that microbes are not just located on the leaves of tomato plants. They are, in fact, pretty much everywhere. The problem, then, may not be the effect fertiliser has on leaf microbes, but on all microbes. There is a general view in the organic community that this is the case. The evidence of this experiment shows it is the case for leaf microbes in tomatoes and nothing else. I think using the precautionary principle, we can work from the assumption that artificial, that is chemical NPK fertilisers, are not beneficial to any microbes. The other point of the post is that these microbes are a defence against disease in tomatoes. Understanding this, we should probably be promoting their health to protect all our crops. That the study involves spraying beneficial microbes onto plants might be a thing worth investigating. If we follow good soil practice, no dig, no till, lots of organic matter and so on, we'll have a good starting point for adding these beneficial leaf microbes. Again, I would urge caution. Adding microbes can be taken to extremes and balanced within systems disturbed. My takeaway from this would be simply to focus on the soil microbes and trust that healthy plants will encourage the necessary microbes. In the same way that ladybirds arrive as their prey arises, so too will plants with millions of years of evolutionary development provide the situation required for healthy above-ground microbial activity. Good organic regenerative practice will protect our crops, and the use of chemical fertilisers will not seem to be the point. And on that note, I'll draw this episode to a conclusion. Remember, decarbonise the air and recarbonise the soil. As a podcast listener, you may be thinking of producing your own podcast, but you're not sure where to begin. Drop over to mrjohnmoore.com and pick up the free checklists I've written to help you get started. I also did some live presentations that are available on the YouTube channel, but you can find them as podcasts under the heading Pod Thoughts. It'll help you get into the process. There's a link in the show notes and there's details at the website mrjohnmoore.com. A transcript of this episode will be available at worldorganicnews.com. Thanks for listening. I'll be back next week.